Hey, Mike Lorenzo here with One Mic, One Game, and welcome to the setup video for Ausonia. This is a relatively small deck builder from Lycan Studio. They did this Shard Hunter game that this game is based in that universe. I'm not familiar with that game. I might have to check that out since I like this one so much. It's for 1 to 4 players, so you can solo this game, which I plan on doing a playthrough of that. And they claim 30 minutes per game. I think if you're playing 2 players and both players really know the ins and outs of the game, I believe you could probably get a game in 30 minutes. With 3 to 4 players, maybe not so much. There's a little bit of what do they call it? Take that. Jeez, my mind. There's a little bit of take that in the game, so it may drag it out a little bit more. And drag it out is probably the wrong term to use in this particular case, because it really is a fun game. So just to kind of show the inside of the box here, I know a number of people on the forums, BGG forums, were saying that they couldn't fit everything in the box. I use Sleeve King sleeves, and they're at 60 micron. And I would say if you go any bigger than that, you're probably not going to fit everything in this box. But I have the base game, both expansions, Masters of Shadow and the Remnants of War. And I also printed out, you can find this file up there. I forget the name of the gentleman that did it, but he did these cards. I printed them out and then laminated them to kind of separate all the different types of cards that you're going to have in the deck. But it comes with your rule book and 4 dials to keep track of your points, some markers, which you may or may not need if you can keep track of what cards you're activating. You have your expansion rules. I have 2 more dials back here for the total of 4. And then there is this scenario playthrough, solo scenario playthrough, where you go against some of the house leaders in the game. This is called the Rugged Road to Power. But anyway, it's a scenario that you can play through, and I may do a playthrough of all of this. I don't know. I'll have to see how it goes. It looks pretty interesting, and like I said, I do like the game. But anyway, let's get to the setup. It's really quick, very easy to set up, and we'll come back once I take the cards out of here, get them on the table. And again, I just wanted to show this playmat that I also got with the Kickstarter. I mean, the artwork on here is really cool, very eye-catching. I think they did a pretty good job with muting the background enough so that your cards don't get lost in the art. But they have it set up for 4 players, so 1 on all sides, and you have your offer row, which is your purchase row. I'm going to go through this in the setup, but it has set up a place for your normal setup game, missions, which is a module in the game, house leaders, which is another module, ambitions, another module. I mean, they really did a good job with this. The only thing that I would say they might have flubbed on is I think they printed this too small. It's probably about, I'm just going to grab one of the cards here so you can see, it's probably about 5 to 10% too small. You can see how it overlaps, and once you get all tight when it really shouldn't. But anyway, I think it's gorgeous. I don't regret buying it. And anyway, let's get to the setup, and I'll see you then. Okay, welcome back. I pulled the mat down a little bit just to kind of make it a little bit easier to see the middle here. And again, you don't need this mat to set up the game, but it does look nice. So other than your starter deck, you have 2 sets of cards in the base game. when you're just playing the base game. You have what they call your favor deck, or your favor cards, which are denoted here. That all of them say favor at the bottom. They did it really well to make it easy to see. And then you also have a power deck, which also all of these state power on the bottom, which makes it real easy to separate them when you need to. In order to set up for a regular game, regardless of how many players there are, you're going to shuffle your favor deck. I like cramming my cards when I have sleeves. Makes it real easy. I'm not going to shuffle them all up, but anyway, you have your favor deck. You're going to deal out 4 cards. Again, this is regardless of how many players you have. And this is going to be your offer row. And this is, you know, a typical where you purchase cards in a deck builder game. Then you're going to take your power deck. You're going to shuffle these up. I'll do a little bit of cramming here. And you are, without looking at them like I just did, you're going to put them face up. And the top card is going to be available for purchase during the game. And then you have your starter deck. Your starter deck is 12 cards. You also have a keywords and turn sequence card. I highly recommend keeping this by your side because there's a number of terms that they use that until you really understand them or get them down, you're going to be referencing this a lot. Also, in this particular game, when they were doing the Kickstarter, they had point tracking cards. I think they had enough people say that they didn't care for these, that they made a stretch goal for the dials. So they did offer these, and I'm glad they did because I really don't care for the cards. The starter deck is, each starter deck is denoted at the bottom with a Roman numeral for that particular player. They're all identical. All starter decks are identical, but so you'll have Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, and 4, all of them denoted at the bottom. And you have 3 cards that are able to be activated, and then you'll have 2 red, 3 green, and 4 blue cards. So during the setup, you're going to each player is going to shuffle their cards. They're going to deal out 6 to themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then they're going to put the rest of their cards off to the side, which is going to be their draw pile. And they'll have their 6 starting cards here. Also, each player is going to set their dial to 10 points, or 10 influences, it's referred to in the game. And the goal of the game is to get to 60 influence. And then whoever has the most influence at the end of the game. But anyway, that is the setup, and I am glad that you joined me. Hopefully you will join me for the playthrough that I plan on doing. I'll be doing a solo playthrough playing against one of the house leaders. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I would really appreciate it if you hit the bell to know when a new video is posted. I'm hopefully going to start putting more videos up. Hopefully you enjoy them. So I will see you back at the table. Happy gaming.